I'd spent years reading about different traditions, sitting in meditation, doing a master's degree in mindfulness studies, even sitting in ceremonies in the Amazon jungle. And something has become quite clear. There are 6 things that I keep coming back to. Things that appear in Buddhism and Taoism, in the Upanishads, in Christian mysticism, even in modern physics. The same thing appears again and again, just in different clothes. So what if that means there is actually a way to live? And I don't mean some kind of religious way or something purely philosophical. I mean something more fundamental. This video is my attempt to describe as plainly as possible these 6 things, starting with the understanding that you are not who you think you are. The person you believe yourself to be, the name, the history, the bundle of preferences and fears, is real in the same way that a wave is real. But a wave is not separate from the ocean. It rises, it moves, it falls, and the water goes on. You are not the wave. You are the ocean rising into this particular shape, in this particular place for this particular moment. The mystics said it. The physicists are starting to get there. And whoever has sat quietly for long enough has tasted it. There is an awareness behind your thoughts that is not made of thoughts. There is a knowing behind your experience that is not itself an experience. And that is what you are. Secondly, suffering is not a mistake. The temptation is to believe that life has gone wrong, that when we suffer, we are broken, or unlucky, or that the world is fundamentally hostile. But every tradition, every single one of them, has said that suffering is just the friction of resisting what is. The Buddha called it dukkha, the ache of wanting reality to be different than it is. The Taoists called it going against the grain of nature. Before Jesus was crucified, in the Garden of Gethsemane, he prayed to God to ask if it could be done any other way. But ultimately, he accepted God's will. This doesn't mean that suffering is good. It just means that when we stop trying to fight reality, something opens. A deep, quiet yes to what is already here. And from that place comes compassion and clarity and peace. Thirdly, separation is the illusion. Look at the world around you. A tree is not separate from the soil. The breath in your lungs is not separate from the air. Your atoms were forged inside stars billions of years before your body existed. You did not arrive into this universe from somewhere else. You arose as the universe, temporarily and brilliantly here. And the line that you draw between yourself and others is real in the same sense that the line drawn between the wave and the ocean is real. But really, there is only one thing, one consciousness, one awareness, one life acting out as many forms. It is what the Vedas called Brahman. It is what Lao Tzu called the Tao. It is what Paul called the spirit moving through all things. It is what physicists are stumbling towards in their equations. Different fingers pointing towards the same moon. The golden rule is not a moral instruction. It is a description of reality. Love your neighbour as yourself. Every wisdom tradition said it. The Buddha said it, Jesus said it, Muhammad said it, the Vedas say it. Why? Because when you look deeply, when the ego quietens, when the labels fall away, you realise that you are not separate from your neighbour. The awareness behind your eyes is the same as the awareness behind their eyes. To harm another is to harm yourself. To love another is to love what you actually are. The golden rule is a natural consequence of seeing things clearly. Awakening is not reserved for sages. It does not require a mountain monastery or decades of practice. It happens in ordinary moments, when you are fully present watching a sunset, and the you that is watching quietly disappears. When you are so absorbed in doing something that you love that the sense of separation disappears. When grief breaks you open so completely that something vast and tender floods in. When you simply stop for one moment and ask, who is it that is aware right now? And these are not exotic states. They are glimpses of what is always already here. The ground beneath the noise, the sky behind the clouds, the silence that holds all sound. And you don't need to believe anything. This is important. I'm not asking you to convert to Buddhism or Hinduism or Christian mysticism or anything. The traditions are maps, beautiful, ancient, carefully drawn maps. But the map is not the territory. The menu is not the meal. What every genuine tradition points toward cannot be contained in a doctrine or a creed. It can only be tasted in stillness, in presence, in the direct, unmediated experience of being alive right now. So, how do we live? We ask questions and we wonder, without expecting any answers, without expecting to arrive at any particular certainty. We're not trying to escape the human experience. Quite the opposite, we are going so deeply into it that the sense of separation starts to dissolve. We pay attention, we accept what is, and we act with clarity and compassion. We let go of the story that life has gone wrong. We extend the circle of compassion slowly and steadily, past our family, past our tribe, past our species, until it includes every living being. We recognize suffering in ourselves as well as in others, and we are moved by it. We have a heartfelt desire to alleviate that suffering. That is what compassion is. We hold both joy and sorrow without demanding that either of them disappear. We live knowing that separation is an illusion. And we do all of this not because we're trying to achieve something, but because it is deep down who we really are. If you want to explore these ideas even further, then watch this video next.